All right, what's going on, guys? Zach here, and I want to share with you how to optimize your Klaviyo emails for dark mode. So nowadays, dark mode, it's 100% essential to optimize for this since so many people are now turning on dark mode in Gmail, Google Chrome, Outlook, Apple Mail, and way more. The issue is dark mode can absolutely ruin your beautiful email if you don't follow the steps that I'm about to share in this video. So you definitely want to watch this video until the end, so that your emails don't end up looking like this and like this, where you can't read the logo. There's a strange amount of black space. Certain elements just don't look great, which leads to an unprofessional look and overall worse conversions, lower revenue, and makes your brand seem lower quality. My name is Zach Schieffer, and I'm the founder of ZHS Ecom, an agency that helps more than a dozen D2C brands add 50K or more to their monthly revenue by leveraging email and SMS, newsletters, and automations. And optimizing all of our Klaviyo emails for dark mode has been a massive part of how we've helped so many brands add revenue. So for context, this is for anyone running the email and SMS marketing for a D2C ecom brand. Most of our clients use Klaviyo as their email sending platform. However, these lessons are going to apply to any software that you're using. So what we're going to talk about is email structure, logos, images, text sections, spacer sections, countdown timers, fonts, footers, and one hack to never worry about dark mode ever. So make sure to stick around until the end and just do this one thing, since it'll automatically fix all of your dark mode issues. All right, email structure. Overall, there's two formats that you can choose for your emails. Basically, you can use mostly image-based emails, and that'll completely solve the dark mode problem altogether. This is our preferred solution, and you can use on the other hand, you can use a blend of HTML, text sections, and images. This is going to require a lot more testing and trial and error to make sure it looks good in dark mode. So either one is totally fine. Option one is using all image emails and adding plain text in the footer just to give Google and Yahoo a little bit of text to read to really increase deliverability. This is how it looks. It's just image slice, image slice, image slice, image slice, image slice, all the way until the footer is where we actually add text, so that you get that nice blend of both image and text. Option two is going a little bit deeper here and actually using these text sections alongside images. This is how it would look like, and this is an example of how to properly optimize for dark mode if you're not going to go with an all image based email. This is going to require more trial and error, so you need to actually check to see what the email looks like in your own inbox, and this is going to require sending test emails to your own inbox, so you literally just learn through trial and error what works and what doesn't look good in dark mode. One way you can do this is using the Dark Reader Chrome extension to easily turn on dark mode. So if you're in Google Chrome, you can easily just use this Chrome app, this extension, and easily see what it's going to look like. You just hit this button at the top there, and you can clearly see when you send a test email if it looks good in dark and light mode. The other alternative is using different email softwares or going on your phone and turning on dark mode, which is not as easy as just hitting this button in the top right corner of your screen. So logos, this is a big, a lot of people mess this up, and a lot of times logos don't look great. And it's very important to optimize this, especially because the logo's at the top of your email, most likely. Definitely want to optimize it. So with dark mode, how it works is that your background colors are going to be inverted. So black goes to white and white goes to black. So that's why an all black logo will not show up in dark mode. So look at this logo here on the white background. Of course, it looks great, but when you view it on dark mode, since it's a black PNG, it's impossible to read. Three solutions here. Number one, outline your logos with a white glow so that they don't blend into the back. So how this works is you just take this logo and you literally add a glow or a stroke of white on the outside, so it doesn't look like anything's weird when you have a white background, but then when you have a black background, it looks great. Option two, just make your logo a color that shows up in both light and dark mode. Here's an example. You have this gray logo here. Looks great in light mode. And when you change it to dark mode, that's how it looks. No issues. Number 3, just go with the strategy, make your logo a full image slice. Perfect example, this is in dark mode, no issues. Images. Big area that I see that people mess up, again, is the cropping of the images. So we'll talk about that. So make sure that your crop still centers the subject and still looks good. Here's an example again of how to do this correctly. It still looks good in light and dark mode. However, what won't look good is if you do what is going on the right here. And if this was an all white email, it would probably look fine. But once it goes to dark mode, if the crop is too cropped, it's just not going to look good. So make sure your crop is more like this, where there's adequate spacing all around your product. Text sections. So what you don't want to do is kind of blend images and text in a way that doesn't look good. So you don't want to go image, text, image, text, image, text, or else you'll get these white and black stripes, which overall just don't look great. And it just, you want to pick one or the other. So in this case, I would either make this button, I would make that not an image, or I would make these here, I would make these images. So you got to choose one or the other, or else you're going to get just these kind of patchy, it doesn't look great sections. Instead, what you can do is put all of your text after the images. So you have one big section of images at the top, and then text at the bottom half or the bottom third of the email. This is an example of that. It's basically images, image slice, image slice, image slice at the top here. And then at the bottom, you have these actual like HTML CTA buttons, which blend in perfectly in dark mode. And then you have a text section here and their footer, all, the same color essentially. So they definitely tested this out. For your text sections, be aware of the padding and how that interacts with your images. In this case, they definitely want to add some padding to this text section, this actual HTML text section here, or else you're going to get an image right here that's way too close to the text. So they want to add a little bit of gap, a little bit of space. All right, spacer sections, pretty simple here. If you're adding these spacer sections within Klaviyo or your other ESP, just be careful with these, or else you're going to get stripes like these between each of the images. So instead, if you want to space out your images, I recommend just doing it, like just not including these spacer sections and doing it within Figma. That's what we use, is we create our emails in Figma, so you don't have to use any sort of spacer sections. So if you need to make the image a little bit taller, go ahead and do that. I'd rather see that than kind of all these random little stripes within the email. Countdown timers. Overall, we don't use a lot of countdown timers. They don't always appear great in dark mode. You'll need to add some more padding to these in your timer software, or else it can kind of look unprofessional. And then fonts, pretty important here. Make sure the colors, just do some tests, make sure they look great on a dark background. In this case, this font color just doesn't look great, and this one does. So it really just detracts from the professionalism of your email. Black font always changes to white, and white always changes to black. So there's really no issues there. Highlighting, I definitely wouldn't recommend this. It can kind of make your emails look tacky. It can drastically increase the size of your email as well, which really hurts deliverability. So overall, it doesn't look great in dark mode, and there's kind of some deliverability issues when you add all of this extra formatting and extra stuff. All right, with the footer. This is kind of how I'll show you an example of how we do like to structure it, but this is what we don't like to do, is we don't like to include social media icons that don't show up in dark mode. So you want to be wary if they're PNGs, if these, down here, if they're black PNGs, they're not going to show up well in dark mode. So choose a different background color. That's one option. And option 2, don't have all black PNGs. You can do the same thing that we did with the logo and outline them in a different color so they're white, or just choose a different strategy. But overall, you want to be wary of your footer and having a dark background with dark PNG icons. Here's what we do prefer to do in terms of the footer structure. Basically, we want it to look like this, where we have a PNG logo, and you can use the trick of outlining the logo again, or you can use an all white logo if that's going to match your background color. In this case, we just did an all white logo, and it blends in. Looks great on both light and dark mode. Text in your footer. We like to add this text in here from your About Us page. That way, you give Gmail and Yahoo and Outlook, they can actually read some text within your email, and that can slightly boost your deliverability. We don't like to include social media icons in the footer just because we don't want people clicking on the link, scrolling Instagram and TikTok and things like that. You instead want them purchasing your products. So we want to make the emails only link to the product pages, because we did some testing. We found that between 7 and 12% of people do click on those social media icons and end up not purchasing your products, from a couple averages, couple tests that we've done. Don't want that happening. And then background colors, you want to make sure everything is readable in light and dark mode. And overall, the message of the video is to just test out, see what your emails look like in light and dark mode, and trial and error it, make sure that they look good in both. All right, one hack to never worry about dark mode ever. Very simply, use plain text emails. We like to throw in plain text emails every now and then. They look great in light and dark mode. They're gonna also get great deliverability. And it's really a pattern interrupt. And overall, if we're sending a lot of designed emails and then we end up with a pattern change and doing a plain text email, they always perform great. All right, that was the end of the video. If you're running a D2C e-commerce brand and you want help adding 50 to 200K to your monthly revenue in the next 90 days, or we give you a refund and you don't want to stress about optimizing for dark mode and all that comes with it, if you're interested and you want to have a partnership, you can go to zhsecom.com and book a call. That's zhs-ecom.com. Or you can send an email to myself. That's zach@zhs-ecom.com for more information. Hope you got a ton of value out of this video. Thanks.